Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Scorpio for the month of January 2023. Welcome Scorpio, Happy New Year. You at the moment, we at the moment are in the sign of Capricorn, and it is the element of Earth. So things should be very grounded for the next couple of weeks with Capricorn around. Just getting on steadily, moving up that mountain as those Capricorn goats do. You are in your third house, so it's all about your neighbours, your communication style, your need to maybe learn something new this year or go back and do some kind of upgrade with learning, or to give you advantages to do other things maybe later on in the year, and just basically expand and grow. So it's a nice house to be in, to sort of plan, especially in January when we all have all the best intentions, but very grounding as well. Energy around. Temperance, so divine time. Strike while the iron's hot, Scorpio, this is it. You ever wanted to start something, you get the Temperance card, you'll really do well. So you've just got to, jot that down and write that down and make sure you make it happen, because it is the right time for you to do what it is you want to do, especially with the third house of communication, neighbours, education, learning, all that sort of thing, new things coming in. That will help you expand and grow. Okay, so where you are right now. Knight of Swords. Big disruption, comes in very quickly out of nowhere, disrupts everything. This is the Knight of Swords, and then leaves very quickly. Gemini, very much a Gemini card. So if this has been an issue around you, this is what this is what's on your mind at the moment, this Gemini influence, which can be quite unsettling, especially for the deep divers, Scorpio. They don't like this kind of abruptness. It's like a windy day that blows everything out of place. They don't like it. However, here he is. So let's see what's influenced this Knight of Swords, this Gemini influence to come into your orbit, so to speak, Scorpio. So that will be the Eight of Coins. So very much the Master's Apprentice. This could be for the more mature of us who are there and going, oh, well, what was that all about, that Gemini person? It could well be a person. But he may be, this one is a bit immature as well, even though he may be whatever age, it doesn't matter, but like immature in terms of certain issues, and you'll know what they are yourself individually. So, and this comes in, it's like a teaching card too. It's saying, well, it was brought in for a reason. You've got to sort of ground yourself with that, and maybe work on your own side of relationship or what's been happening there, because this is a very fancy card. It's a lovely card for for people who work hard, and also for the time of education, for you in the third house. This is talking about, I don't know, going back and doing a refresher course, anything like that. But in terms of him, you know who he is in your life. So he's got something to do with this maturity, I suppose. So it can be a bit of learning about that kind of stuff as well. Okay, so let's see what happened, or what was happening in November, December for you. And we had the Page of Coins, so new beginnings of things, like formulating maybe a new skill, maybe, deciding, okay, 23 is going to be the year I'm going to do some upgrades, and I'm going to get a different job, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and it will bear fruit for you. All you have to do is water it and feed it. That's it. Be consistent. So a really nice card to have. So whatever you may be thinking about, make sure that you water and feed that seed so it can grow into something for you later on that will be very beneficial financially. Okay, recent influences, Scorpio. And we have the Ace of Wands, so very much energy coming back in, feeling a lot better about things. new beginnings, people coming back out of nowhere. You know, it can be a bit of a, for some younger ones, it's a fertility card, so be careful with that one. But it's just a new rush of energy that comes in, especially when you've felt a bit depleted in the last, since your birthday in October, November. This is a really good card to have. It's like the green light is green, and so go for it, Scorpio. Lovely card. Let's see the lesson you'll be learning in this 4-week period. We have the man from overseas, the Three of Wands. So this person, normally, the way I read this, and it is a card of expansion and growth, but as far as relationships go and things like that, this does pertain, in my interpretation, to a man who comes from either Scandinavia or the United Kingdom, that sort of northern hemisphere area. And so he's quite poignant in whatever's been going on as well. So, but it's about expanding. It's about, and maybe he came into your life to kind of teach you to expand and grow and just all sorts of things. But from this you can move on, and it's almost like you are on a solid platform. So it's a really positive card to get, especially for the new year there, Scorpio. So let's see what's happening in the near future. Ace of Cups. Oh my God. Reconnection with somebody. Emotional reconnection with somebody or something. Now I think because we've got a male, we've got this energy, Gemini energy here, it might have a bit to do with that person. However fleeting it was or wasn't, it doesn't matter. When this card comes in, there is a connection. But then free will happens and all sorts of things can happen. But this is truly a magical card with connection to spirit and to emotional, you know, just hand in glove type of energy. So we'll see where that takes us and what you're not realizing probably about this connection that's coming through. So usually you know this person, or if you don't know this person, you feel like you know the person. So there is a really nice, good, strong connection. But then, you know, things can happen. So let's see what you're not realizing about this issue. Sadness and grief. So there's a bit of sadness and grief and heartbreak around this. And if you're sort of front up to yourself, you'll realize that there is. So there's something quite interesting about it on all levels of emotion, because this is heartbreak. But it's kind of, whenever you get this card, it sort of helps you deal with grief of not just that time or that person, but of other stuff that's sort of stuck down there in the depths. So acknowledge it, Scorpio, and then you can move on. Don't acknowledge it and it will chase you until you do. It's just the way it is. And you know that, actually. Okay, let's see how other people see you. And this could well be this Gemini and folk here, this person here. Eight of Cups. Yeah, just step away from it for a while. Don't worry about it for so long. It's kind of contained you in a way, but it's like time just to step out of it for a while and do something else for a while, because it's sort of still contained. So there's something about it that's really, I don't know, it's caused bother or something, and heartache and heartbreak. There's a bit of that around, so that could well be with this heartbreak here, that, you know, this person maybe here isn't ready for that kind of thing because they haven't resolved their grief. Even though the connection is good, they've still got to go through their grief, I'm getting here. So all you need to do with this is not to worry. You just step aside and just leave it for a bit. Focus on all the stuff you've got going on for your third house, what you're going to do for the year. Are you going to go back and retrain? Are you going to study? What are you going to do? And don't worry about that just yet. That you can come back later. Because at the moment it's sort of like in a box and it's not going anywhere. Okay, so let's have a look now at what you're feeling positive about. Yeah, and you can't move forward, you can't move backwards, you don't know what to do. You sort of got your blindfold on and your sword's up there and you're just stuck. Well, you just make a decision, like I said here, just move away from a while and find something else that can occupy your mind for this bit that's positive for you. And you've got all this energy here, so just do that and you'll see the difference, and you won't be so, like, you just feel like you can't move. You're just sort of shell-shocked in a way here, Scorpio. But it's just like, take off the blindfold and put the swords down. Move forward with something new. And you've got all these possibilities anyway to focus on for a while until this kind of resolves itself. Okay, let's see what the final outcome will be. And then the Queen of Cups, so the Scorpio Queen. So receiving, you feeling, yeah, and just learning to sit with it and knowing a connection was made, knowing there's other issues going on, and just sitting with it and being peaceful with it rather than being agitated with this, because that's just your mind going wild. And this is like you returning to your true spiritual home of the Queen of Cups, being the receiver, just sitting back, being at peace with yourself and knowing intuitively what will work out will work out. So there's Scorpio. It's an interesting month, but as I said, focus on those things you want to get done this year. Don't worry about that emotional stuff just yet. Okay, let's have a look at the message for you. Nah, interesting. Compassion, Scorpio. Our task must be to free ourselves from the prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of its beauty. Compassion, as it rises up to meet the suffering and pain of all living things, releases that within yourself and others. It makes creating mutual happiness possible. Compassion. So I'll leave that with you, and I really wish you have a happy new year, and I know that you're going to have a good year because you're busy people and you're very much about moving forward. Happy New Year, and thank you, Scorpio.